Hi, I'm Matt Collins. I'd like to welcome you to Bob Weber Auto Mart on Douglas Avenue here in Racine, across from Douglas Park. We specialize in 1-year-old, low mileage, almost new cars. And if you'd like to stop by and see them, or see them on our website, bobweberautomart.com, we could save you between $5,000 and $10,000 on your next almost new car purchase.
Welcome into another edition of Sports Junkies. Time to talk some Milwaukee Bucks basketball with Gery Woelfel of the Racine Journal-Times. I'm Steve Sparky Fifer from the Wendy's Big Show on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP weekday afternoons from 2 until 6. Gary, let's go over...
Hey, by the way, I love your Bill Belichick
sweatshirt
garb today. That looks good.
Yeah, I like it.
You and Bill tight?
Yeah.
You got a hoodie deal or something?
Real tight.
Okay,
this is what I kind of want to go over today. The Bucks still in position, obviously, for the first pick in the draft, but obviously the lottery balls have to go the right way and a bunch of other stuff. But
do you have any doubts they're going to go the right way?
Yeah.
The basketball gods are going to look down on Herb Cole as he departs the Bucks.
I think that's possible. I agree. I'm not going to argue with you on that.
Okay.
I could see that.
But I'll argue about something else.
That conspiracy theory. No, I'm not going to argue. I just want to ask you this question. Do you think that this Bucks offseason will be the same as every other Bucks offseason since Ernie Grunfeld left? And that is wholesale changes, half the roster gets turned over, we come in next year with a bunch of guys we don't know.
I hate to have a cop-out here, but I think it's all going to hinge on the impending sale of the Bucks.
Let's say Herb Cole and John Hammond are still running the show.
Herb Cole backs out at the last minute like he did with Michael Jordan.
Well, whatever. I'm just saying. Let's say John Hammond and Herb Cole are still in charge.
Yeah, if the current regime is in charge, there's going to be little change to the roster. They can't. I mean, you look at their contracts, they're committed to... I forgot. I looked at this last night. I think there's 11 guys that are under contract. And nobody's going to trade for Sanders at this point. Nobody's going to trade for Mayo at this point. They want to keep Knight. They want to keep Giannis. They want to keep Middleton. Who am I missing here? Walters. So, I mean, you start adding these guys up. The only tradable pieces they really have are John Henson or Ersan Ilyasova. Other than that, either they want them back or other teams aren't going to take them.
Carlos Delfino comes back next year as well.
Carlos who?
Yeah, hasn't played all year.
Another guy that's under contract.
Right, that's what I said. So he's back next year as well. Zaza Pachulia, another guy, back. Now, Jeff Adrian, he's going to be a free agent. Ramon Sessions, they're both going to be free agents. If I had my druthers of who I wanted back, I'd say neither. I'd say they both can go away. And let's just go with Walters and Brandon Knight and then whatever you end up drafting. I'd rather do that at this point because, again, my dream scenario is you take Wiggins. Wiggins plays a 2. Knight is your starting point guard. Walters comes in behind when Wiggins goes to the bench. Knight slides to the 2. And then once Knight comes out, Wiggins comes back in to play next to Walters. I'd run that 3-guard rotation.
How many games did Kansas play this year?
I don't know.
And how many really good games did Wiggins have?
Wiggins probably had
And don't say it's because of Bill Self.
Well, there clearly is. Bill Self clearly got out coached in the game, and that's why they lost the tournament because he's a complete buffoon of a coach.
Did Bill Self...
Bill Self had no idea how to attack a zone, Gary. They ran no offense. They stood around the perimeter and passed it around like they were a team from northern Wisconsin.
Okay, but
that's what they did.
At some point, if you're on the perimeter time and time again, and you got basically nobody in front of you, or you have a poor defender on, don't you attack the basket?
Doesn't your coach go, hey, Mr. Wiggins,
no,
go? At some point, doesn't he go?
Yeah.
And if your coach tells you to go, don't you go?
Why couldn't he do it on his own accord?
But, Gary, if the coach says this is how we're going to play this defense, and you run with coach runs. Look, I'm not saying Wiggins wasn't passive.
Way too passive.
Wiggins was passive, no question about it. But when Wiggins, like you said, isn't passive and is aggressive, like he was the previous games leading up to that game, Wiggins can dominate and take over.
So when he goes to the pros, that switch is going to flip on, and for 82 games, he's going to be aggressive. Huh?
No, that's the great thing, because you've told us in previous videos that nobody plays 100% all year long. That it's impossible to play 100% every night in the NBA. So that's the great thing about Wiggins. He's already got a head start.
This is Don't worry about
it. I'm just saying.
No.
You told me impossible.
You are absolutely correct.
You did.
I will not go back. My point
is
okay. 100% for all 82 games. So let me rephrase this.
Okay.
Andrew Wiggins is going to turn it on for 77 games, just like that?
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Giannis is just all of a sudden going to turn it on.
I'm going to tell you something. And you and I have never agreed on Wiggins.
I agree. I agree he's going to be a very good player. But if you think he's going to be like the second coming of Michael Jordan or any of those guys,
no, I've never said that. No.
Who do you think
we talked about it on the Big Show?
Who do you think he's going to be?
I don't know who he's going to be, but we talked
he might be Evan Turner for all we know.
No, he's better than Evan Turner.
Oh, don't count
That's
it.
crazy.
Evan Turner can shoot the ball better than
Evan Turner is not a scorer in my mind at all. Not to the
not
to the status of
Wait a
Wiggins.
second.
No.
He scored like 20 points a game.
Yeah, no. Well, maybe, but I don't look at Evan Turner and go, oh yeah, he's the guy that somebody's going to put on their back and go with. Didn't work in Philly.
And what pick was he?
Didn't work in Philly, and he ends up in Indiana now. He's going to come off the bench.
You know what? They had superstar written over him too when he came out.
Who?
Evan Turner.
Well, not on our show. On our draft show.
But a lot of NBA.
On our draft show, nobody was buying Evan Turner. But again, regardless of that,
okay.
When we talk about Wiggins, and we brought this up on the Pink State Basketball postgame show.
Right.
And that is, if Wiggins or Parker or whoever they end up drafting ends up putting big dog type numbers up when they play here, 20 points, 6 boards.
Right.
If that ends up being their career line, is that good enough for a Bucks fan base that has suffered all year long watching this product?
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to be a draw. Do you know how many people?
If he averages 20 and 6, that's a success.
Absolutely.
In my opinion.
Absolutely.
Now, you may not disagree. You may disagree with me at home watching this, but in my opinion, that's a success. No, he may not be Durant. No, he's not LeBron.
And you think Wiggins is going to come in and get 20 points his first year?
Did I say that? I said in his career. If you look at him.
But did I say he had to play 82 games at 100%? No,
yes,
but you did.
You did say that.
I said.
You need to watch the video again.
I never said every single game.
You're telling me he's going to play 100% for 82 games, Sparky. That's what you said.
What?
Yeah, it's okay. You can watch the video and then you can see yourself saying
yeah, originally, but then I also said.
No, then you backtracked. Right after I asked you.
To 77. What a major step back.
Either way.
Oh,
look,
please.
When you talk about Wiggins, he's trying to dig you out of the hole you buried yourself in.
Oh, good luck with that.
That's what Greg Easton said. But what I'm saying is career average. If at the end of Wiggins' career he's a 20 and 6 guy,
right?
That's a good career. I don't think anybody looks at him and goes, "Oh boy, what a bust of a pick that wasn't the top 3."
And what else is he going to do?
What do you mean? What else is he?
Is he just going to be a one-dimensional scorer?
20.6 boards. That's not one-dimensional. And he's a good defender.
6 boards is very
for a shooting guard.
He's not a shooting
yes,
guard. Where do you get this idea?
He is a shooting guard.
Oh, he is a small forward all the way.
And you and I will totally disagree. He's definitely
okay. So then you're in the school that thinks Giannis is a shooting guard.
No, I think Giannis is a small forward.
Okay.
And I think Jabari Parker is a small forward. Anybody that plays him a power forward and needs to have their head examined because he's not a power forward.
Who's that?
He's a Jabari Parker. He's a 3 and only a 3.
No, he's a 3-4.
No, I'd say we disagree on that too.
Hey, well, what is Carmelo Anthony?
Carmelo Anthony's a 3.
Yeah, guess where he plays a lot?
Right, guess who's losing?
Oh, and it's not because he's playing 4.
Yes, it is.
It's because he's surrounded by a bunch of garbage.
No, because look, hold on. Now, hold on a second. You look at Carmelo Anthony when Carmelo Anthony has gone well, right?
Yeah.
When he was in Denver. What's the difference between when he was in Denver versus when he was in New York?
He was surrounded by a lot of garbage there, too.
Both spots. So why aren't they winning in New York if they were winning in Denver?
I think his supporting cast is awful. Their next best scorer on that team is J.R. Smith. Do you want to rely on J.R. Smith to be
Who's the next best scorer in Denver?
Good question. That's what I'm asking. Who was it?
Right, but
that's my point.
So isn't he surrounded by better guys in New York than he was in Denver? Tyson Chandler, J.R. Smith.
Okay, go back to my original point. Who scores besides him on a regular, consistent basis?
We're talking about what position he plays. That's how this whole thing started.
That's why he has to play, yes.
Okay, so who's playing a small forward that's so great for the Knicks?
They don't. I mean, it doesn't matter. He's got to play.
If you had Carmelo Anthony.
What's your point?
My point is this. If you had Carmelo Anthony at the 3, and you
why don't you delete this last 30 seconds because he's spinning his wheels.
I'm trying to get to where I'm going. If you had Carmelo Anthony at the 3,
right,
and you had Tyson Chandler at the 5, and you had length at the 4 that could play next to Tyson Chandler,
but they don't.
Hold on, they don't. No, but you're asking me where I play. If you had an Ilyasova at the 4 or a Henson at the 4 that provided some length, Carmelo would be unbelievable at the 3. That's his natural position. I mean, he's an undersized forward right now.
But my point is he plays both. And he probably plays 50% at power forward.
Absolutely.
And that Parker will be able to do the same thing. So many NBA teams go small now that if they put Parker, what they could do is put Parker at 4 and the Greek Freak at 3.
So you put the 7-footer at 3 and the 6'8" guy at the 4. That's what we're going to do.
Well, a 7-footer is almost as thin as you.
Fine, I agree.
So why would you put him at 4 and get beat up?
Well, this is a great thing about the NBA that coaches don't do anymore. It's called a post-up. And if I've got a 6'8" guy on John Henson at my 4, then I'm just going to throw the ball on John Henson and go get him. But who does that in the NBA anymore? Who has a big guard that they drop the ball down to and they have a smaller guard guarding him and go, okay, back him down and score? Doesn't happen anymore.
Hey,
NBA coaches, good job. I mean, seriously, you don't see size matchups ever exploited anymore in the NBA.
You do. Last night, in fact, I saw one.
You're watching Miami and Indiana.
Wednesday night. I don't know if you watched much of it, but right from the get-go, they posted up Mr. Hibbert, and he went right at Greg Oden. Why Greg Oden is even on the roster is a joke, and much less starting. I mean, he's useless.
Because Chris Bosh isn't a center, and
yeah,
they play him
okay.
at the 4.
So they started him and played 6 minutes and never saw the light of day again. Why bother? The experiment is over. He's not going to be a player.
Well, we're going to find out. I don't think that experiment's over. But going back to what we were talking about earlier about Wiggins and Parker. So you agree. If they end up being a 20-6 guy, both of them, or one or the other, and they don't beat Durant and they're not LeBron, that's fine. As far as
I think it would be, definitely. Right? I mean,
because you don't have a score right now at all.
You know how many 20-point per game scores there are in the NBA? And everybody goes, oh, it's easy to score points in the NBA.
I would say probably a dozen.
Yeah, about 18 or 19. Okay?
More than
that means there isn't even one on every team. There are some. There's actually a couple teams that have 2, okay?
Those are the ones competing for a championship.
But that is really hard to do. And they say, if you're on a bad team, well, somebody has to score. When you're on a bad team, it makes it even tougher to score 20 points because teams are coming at you. They're starting to focus on you. So if Wiggins, Parker come in and average 20.6, I'd call that a day. Yep. I'd be very, very happy with that.
I agree. I'm anxious to see how this whole thing is going to play out. If they can move Ersan or they can move Anson and get back in the first round and get another player, I'd be even more excited. And then you've got your second-round picks that you're going to have 2. But who knows? Maybe you can combo a couple of those and move back into the first round.
Well, one of them is a late second round, so it's not.
No, it's going to be those first 2 ones in the second round. And if you could package a couple of those and try and get back up, and because a lot of these teams at the end of the first round don't want to have guaranteed money. So if they can move back, take a couple flyers, whatever, on European players, whatever, so be it.
Exactly.
And the Bucks move up and get that guy that can help them right now, like a Payne from Michigan State or somebody. Fine, then go ahead and do it. You know what I mean?
They'd have to move way up to get Mr. Payne.
Really?
Oh, he's going to be a mid-first round pick.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah, looking at mock drafts that I've been looking at online, I've seen him anywhere between 25 and 30. So if you're saying he's going to go in the middle.
I would think so. Somewhere, in the 15, 16 range.
That's good. If he ends up going that high.
His stock is definitely improving. I mean, he's one of maybe 2 guys in the NCAA tournament that have really helped themselves considerably. Two guys. I mean, the other guys, not so much. And we don't have to talk about
Who's the other guy?
Guy from Wichita State. Early.
Oh, the guard.
The forward.
Oh, the forward.
The 6'8" forward.
Yeah, what do you have, like 30 the last game?
Yeah, he's a good player. So, I mean, this guy was a second-round pick, and he's all odds are he's going to be a mid to late first-round pick.
I love the NCAA tournament your whole career.
Absolutely.
Don't care what you did. Hey, you played well in 3 or 4 games. We're going to take you, kid. He's Gery
Sam
Woelfel.
Decker, it's time to step up.
Yeah, you're right about that.
He's
Gery Woelfel. I'm Steve
help his
Sparky,
draft
Fifer. Enjoy the rest of your day here at RacinSportsZone.com.